to the Teen Halloween episode of That Time of the Month. Here. Our show is hosted by a woman and featuring a lineup just for tonight made up entirely of teen girls, which means statistically speaking, 100% of them are likely to have accidentally misplaced my invitation to their pool party at some point. So, which is fine. I didn't want to go swimming that weekend. Halloween is around the corner. Anyone excited about Halloween? No, because things are scary enough as it is. Yeah, in this hellscape we call life. Halloween's a weird time of year. Yeah. Oh, speaking of things being bad, Mother Earth now is wanting to kill herself by 2030. Did you guys see that? She was like, deal with it yourselves, you guys. Sorry if I just let you know about that depressing climate change news at this comedy show. I read too much. But yeah, Halloween's a weird time of year. It's when unverified costume websites try to sell me a sexy Handmaid's Tale costume because nothing says hot like dystopian novel where women are being oppressed at all times. It's a little too real. But this is the season of spooky and spoopy things, so I felt necessary to admit to you something that I'm frightened by, or used to be frightened by, and that is teens. As a teen, I was afraid of teens. As someone who's closer to the senior citizen discount than the college student discount at Six Flags, I was afraid of teens. Teens are really intimidating. I think teens can admit that. Most of them are cooler than me. Hold on a sec. Sorry, I'm getting a message from my intern who is a broom with a wig and glasses on due to budget cuts. Nope, I got the numbers wrong. All teens are cooler than me, not little. I don't think we had to interrupt the show for that, firing that room. But yeah, teens used to scare me, but not anymore. Not anymore. Teens now inspire me, especially after this year. Teens have been stepping it up as adults have been messing it up. Most of them are accomplishing more before they even hit the voting age. And it's impressive. And one of the biggest examples we saw was one of the many shootings this year. One was at Parkland, Florida, at a high school, and we saw those teens turn their anger into activism. And students such as Emma Gonzalez became the face of the gun control movement in this country. It was pretty wild. Like, they were not taking shit from anyone anymore and calling BS on these lawmakers and NRA. But what I find equally as impressive is the fact that just a few months prior to all of that, teens were shotgunning Tide Pods down their gullets, making us ask ourselves, are the teens okay? And then just, shortly after that, they're proving that they have more common sense when it comes to conversations about gun control in this country than the politicians we pay to do that, making us then ask ourselves, should I be eating Tide Pods? Because I will. A lot has happened since our last episode. I say that every month. And I say that every month. Mostly bad news, mostly bad things. But there was one good thing out of all the bad things that happened, and that was the bravery and unwavering resilience of Dr. Christine Blasey Ford when she gave her, we can clap for that, when she gave her testimony to Congress about a sexual assault that happened to her at age 15. Allegedly, I say that only not to get sued, but allegedly by Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. And I just I'm not sure if the teens were reading up on it. I don't know if teens are like me and they just read bad news on Twitter until their eyes bleed. But I did want to read one quote from her opening statement that I thought was really powerful. Here it is. She said, she opened with this, I am here today not because I want to be. I am terrified. I am here because I believe it is my civic duty to tell you what happened to me while Brett Kavanaugh and I were in high school. That is incredible. Like, that is so powerful. I'm like, oh, I'm a piece of shit. I'm like, I'm doing my civic duty by buying posts, supporting U.S. Post Office. Like, no, I'm not doing shit. And I thought that quote was so powerful, I wanted to get it on a t-shirt to remind me every day, and I did. They were actually able to print that for me. For those in the back that says, stop supporting abusers. Real simple message there. But after her testimony, we saw Brett Kavanaugh give his side of the story. And I'm not sure if anyone watched that either, but to give you a recap of his energy level, he basically came in as a juggalo at an Insane Clown Posse concert where they were giving out Limitless Four Locos and Red Bulls. This guy was unhinged, and I know a lot of those references are probably going over the heads of teens right now. So now I've got a teen translation of that analogy. Okay, picture the most intense YouTube star that you follow. Like someone who's like making videos at 7 a.m. that's like, hey fam, submit, click below, follow, like, whatever. I wish my parents paid attention. Imagine that YouTube star. Now imagine he just downed, or she downed a case of Coke Zero while eating a Carvel ice cream cake. Multiply that by 10, and that's where Brett Kavanaugh came in like raging. That just completely unhinged. And as we saw, the results weren't what most of us hoped, because he still got nominated to the Supreme Court. And this is a quick sidebar, but before we even heard all this, I feel like we should have known something was up with this guy as soon as we found out his first name is Brett, which is the official name for boys who sit behind you in 8th grade homeroom and snap your bra every day. So just, I have a cousin named Brett, and it's like, I wouldn't trust that guy with anything. He sells balsamic vinegar. I don't trust that guy. But yeah, it was rough. And what I got from all that is that, despite the progress of the Me Too movement, I just don't think our society, and especially our political climate, has really evolved enough for there to be real repercussions for these abusers. I feel like that it was their way of saying to victims, like, you know what, nah, we don't care about you. Don't bother speaking up. You're just going to inconvenience yourself and others. And it is a rare opportunity for me to be in a room with teen girls and have the opportunity, against their will, to give them advice. And I'm hoping this goes better than the time I signed up to volunteer at a middle school career day, and a little girl asked me how much money I made doing comedy. The look of disappointment on her face. It was like looking into the eyes of a 6th grade version of my mother. But here's my advice for you, teens. Never shut up. Never shut up. Be as obnoxious as you need to be to make your voice heard. Be loud, don't be quiet. Respect libraries and comedy shows. But never stop speaking up for what you believe in, and don't apologize for it. And that's all I have to say. You can clap that. I know that was more serious than normal. I had to get my shit out in front of you so everyone else can be funny. But we have an amazing show. Before it starts, I want to thank our sponsor, Teddy B Patisserie. It's a fancy artisanal chocolate chip cookies. And you got some of those if you don't have allergies. And Alicia Velasquez will be at she's the founder, she'll be at the Mueller's Farmers Market tomorrow from 10 to 2. So you can stuff those down your gullet instead of Tide Pods.